Like, you guys have, the people that, those of you that follow my channel for a while, you guys know me. You saw how I suffered, how I struggled in the early stages of my eczema, and you've seen how my eczema has cleared up until now. I did not use any sort of medication or drug or special cream or prescribed cream that the doctors gave me, because it does not work. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the PR and I'm Joanna RH. So today I've got like a special video for you guys, because this week, the last couple of weeks I've been putting up a vlog from basically summer, last year's summer, and so much, like literally so much has changed since then. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, the way I eat's changed. Like, just so many different areas of my life has changed, and I didn't want it to be a thing where you guys watch it and think that whatever I was doing then is kind of what I'm doing now. A lot has changed. So this week I put up a post on my Instagram asking if you guys had any questions to ask me in relation to eczema or any sort of like skin related issues, and you guys sent me quite a few questions which I thought would be really, really nice for us to kind of go through, so you guys can kind of get some experience from what I've learned like throughout this journey. And also at the end of this video I am going to show you literally in real time what my skin looks like right now, because a few of you have messaged me and asked me basically to see what my skin looks like, which so I just want to say thank you to everyone that sent in your questions. I'm going to read them out. I was going to say like who sent the questions in, but then I realised I didn't actually ask beforehand if people were happy for me to say who they were, so I'm just going to kind of read the questions out anonymously. Also, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone like who's messaged me like this week and just sent me so many messages of support. You guys are actually incredible. Like, I've met so many amazing women like through this like medium, through Instagram, through my YouTube channel. Like, so many people that have helped me and other people that I've been able to help. Like, you guys are actually inspirational to me, and like, I'm literally willing to give this everything if it means I can make a difference to at least one person's life. And so far I think I've managed to touch a few people as well as you guys touching me, so I'm definitely going to keep going. If you guys are happy for me to keep talking about eczema and keep sharing my journey with you, I'm so happy to do that. I'm more than happy to do that. So keep your questions coming, and yeah, let's get into it. So the first question I've got is what do you do when your skin itches really badly, and have your scars improved once your diet changed? So the first thing I would say is when you first start like your transition and you change your diet and whatever. I've explained before in my blog that once you first start, your skin gets incredibly worse before it starts to get better, and that's kind of like because of the cleansing diet that you begin. It basically causes a lot of toxins and a lot of like things that have been clogged up in your skin to come out almost all at once. And during that period the skin is very, very itchy, like, I mean, unbearably itchy. There was a couple of months, I'm sure it lasted for a few months, where I could not sleep because my skin was so itchy and irritable. I don't think there's a magic cream or anything that you can actually do in order to stop the itching, but one thing I would definitely recommend is a supplement called quercetin. I don't know if I'm saying it properly, but I'll put it up there so you can see it. And this is kind of like, it's like the natural version of what you would find in like an antihistamine tablet, like an allergy tablet basically, but it's like a natural version of it. And this is like one of the things that you can take during the day to lessen the itch, especially at night. Another thing I would definitely recommend is salt baths. Again, it doesn't necessarily take the itch away, but it takes the edge off it. So before you go to sleep, if you're going through this period and your skin's really, really itchy, I always found that my skin would itch unbearably at night, and that's because your immune system drops at night. So before you go to bed, get into a salt bath with Himalayan salt, Epsom salt, any sort of like cleansing salt. Make sure it's natural, it's not like got anything else in it, and just soak in that to give your skin a chance to kind of release some of these toxins before you go to sleep. And use like a really good moisturizer as well, and it does help. Like I said, you're not going to completely get rid of the itch, but those two things will definitely help. So salt baths and quercetin. So the next question is, what is a must do in your skin routine? So in my earlier stages of kind of like healing eczema, one of the things I always did, like every single day without fail, is to to do a dry skin brush before I went into the shower, and this is not only detoxifying for the skin, but it also gets rid of like the dead skin and the shed skin that sits on top of the body. So if you guys have eczema, you'll know what I'm talking about. Your skin's like constantly shedding all the time, but before you get into the shower, if you can like just loosen some of that skin off and then have a shower and kind of wash and then moisturize, I feel like it really helps, not just with the detoxification process, but it also allows like the skin underneath to continually kind of like replenish quicker. So I would say definitely skin brushing. I don't do it every day anymore because like my skin's pretty much clear, but I do try and do it at least once a week. And I do also dry brush the skin on my face about once or twice a week as well, so I definitely say skin brushing. The next question is, have you ever tried baking soda and shea butter for moisturizing? I haven't. I've never tried baking soda for moisturizing, but I do use a shea butter and baking soda cream, I don't know if you can call it a cream, as deodorant. So the deodorant I use is from a company called the Deodorant Company, or the Natural Deodorant Company, and that deodorant is basically made of shea butter and baking soda and a few other essential oils for deodorant. So that's what I use, but I've never really used like a baking soda and shea butter like for my actual skin. I wouldn't know what the skin benefits of that is, so I don't really know like how to advise you in regards to that. But yeah, that's the deodorant I use, and I'll put that link below as well. How long did it take for your hands to clear up? That's a tricky one. I would say when the palm of my hands were really were covered in eczema, I would say it took about 3 months from the time that I started my vegan diet. I would say it took about 3 months, and it was really when I started the plant-based diet that my skin healed quicker. But like I said, it did get quite bad before it got better. So I would say about 2 to 3 months. The back side of my hands, or the front side, the skin side of my hands took a lot longer. So the palms of my hands probably cleared up within 3 months, and this part of my hands probably took like 6 to 9, like almost towards the end where the rest of my body kind of healed at the same time. So about, yeah, between 3 and 9 months altogether. So the next question is, what fabrics are comfortable? Now for me, one thing I noticed is that when my skin was really bad, there was certain fabrics that I could not wear. So one of them was wool. Like wool was very irritable for me. I couldn't wear that. Like anything that was kind of scratchy or itchy or had like basically natural fibers, I would say a lot of them were really, really irritable, like I said, especially wool. So my recommendation in terms of fabrics to wear, like not to irritate your skin, I would say like cotton. And make sure that everything that you wear is kind of like got like a smooth surface to the touch, that there's nothing actually scratching your skin, because when you've got eczema, everything is like irritating. Like even now, even though my skin's better, I still have to cut like all the labels out of the back of my clothes, because the labels at the back or at the side, you know, where they put the labels in, it literally irritates my skin if I haven't got anything underneath. So I would say like just wear anything that you feel doesn't irritate your skin, and I would definitely say cotton. Like just brush cotton is probably the best thing to wear. Someone asks, what's your thoughts on the new miracle drug Dupixent? I don't know how to say it properly, but I think I've spoken about this briefly on my Instagram, but I think it might have been in stories, I can't actually remember, but a few people have asked me about this drug. So I went on the internet to research what it was, and basically it's a drug that has been manufactured to apparently cure people with eczema. And what it is it's like a genetically engineered it's a genetically engineered like, what is it called? Do you know what, let me just get it up, that would make more sense, Joe. Let me just find it for you. So what is Dupixent? This is the nationaleczema.org. This is what it says. So Dupixent is the first biological medication approved by the FDA for adults with moderate to severe atopic dermatitis. It is taken subcutaneously by injection at 300 mg every other week. And it says, what is a biologic drug? A biologic drug is a genetically engineered It's genetically engineered from proteins derived from living cells and tissues. It's designed to target specific parts of the immune system that contribute to chronic inflammatory diseases such as atopic dermatitis. It says, how long do I have to take Dupixent? And it says, because of the chronic recurring nature of atopic dermatitis, you must remain on Dupixent to continue the clinical benefits of the drug. So basically what they're saying is they've genetically modified this protein. They're going to inject it into your body every other week. That's twice a month for the rest of your life. Now for me, like, I'm going to be so honest with you. When I saw this, yeah, I was so angry. Like, my blood was literally boiling because, like, you guys have, the people that, those of you that follow my channel for a while, you guys know me. You saw how I suffered, how I struggled in the early stages of my eczema, and you've seen how my eczema has cleared up until now. I did not use any sort of medication or drug or special cream or prescribed cream that the doctors gave me, because it does not work. If it was a case of it would heal you or cure you, you wouldn't need to be on it for the rest of your life. And I've spoken to people so many times in relation to how the medical system in our country works. Like, if you're in the UK and the US, the whole point of the medical system is not to cure people, it's to keep people dependent on the medicines that they give them, which is why you're never going to come off it. Now, the whole reason why I wanted to do this on my channel, to start doing this on my channel, is to show people that you can actually heal naturally. Like, from experience, you can see that you can heal eczema naturally. And I truly believe that if you use food in the right ways and you know what to eat for your body, you can heal any disease naturally. And I mean that with all my heart. So in terms of Dupixent, or anyone that's considering this, I can understand why you'd want to try something like this, because it sounds like almost like a miracle cure. You just want the suffering to stop, you want the itching to stop, you want to be able to sleep at night. I get that, I completely understand that. But it's not a quick fix. Like, healing the body from the inside out is not a quick fix. And I really do feel like so passionate that if you really want to heal your body completely and be completely free from any medication or any sort of drug, you need to do it on your own. Do you get what I mean? So, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. Back to the question, what do I think of the drug Dupixent? I don't agree with it. I think it's wrong. I think it's completely out of order. They would go to this length to push a drug on people that they know they won't be able to cope without, knowing full well that this is not a disease or a chronic condition that is caused by genetics. It's diet. I'm telling you, it's diet. So if you're considering this drug, obviously I'm not qualified at all, but you've seen my journey. You can heal naturally, and that's basically what I would recommend you to do. So someone said, how long after you switched your diet products did you start to see a difference in your skin? So for me, I went plant-based last year, so not the year just gone, the year before, like November/December. And I would say I started to see results in a matter of weeks. Now when I say results, I mean like results in terms of the condition of my skin. Like, it wasn't as rough as it was before. It was visibly better, but my eczema didn't completely clear for at least 9 to 10, maybe even 11 months. It took a good year, really, for my eczema to clear up to the point that it has now. So you will see, like I said, you'll start the diet. For a couple of months, the skin might get gradually worse or extremely worse before it starts to get better. But you will see changes, like, almost immediately. I don't know how to explain it. It's really difficult, but my skin just changed in terms of the way it looked, and it wasn't as rough or as angry as it appeared before, but it just started to smooth out and just wasn't as irritable as it was before I started my plant-based diet. So the next question is, did you ever take sick leave off work? If so, how long and how supportive were they? So when my skin got really, really, really bad, and I mean like unbearably bad, I did take sick leave off work. And it was literally because I couldn't function. I took quite a bit of time off work. I think altogether maybe a few months, or like altogether, not all at the same time, but maybe like 2 months. And it wasn't just me that was ill. As you guys saw in the vlogs that I posted up over the weekend, my son was ill as well. So I wasn't just taking time off for me and my skin issues, I was taking time off because he was ill too. And at first they were understanding, but like any other company, like if you're paying somebody to be there and they're not there, it starts to get a bit political. They start to complain. Then at one point they tried to They tried to discipline me, they tried to give me a disciplinary for not being in, and etc, etc. And even though they kind of revoked it after I explained to them the whole situation and got like my medical reports to kind of prove everything that I was saying, they revoked the disciplinary, but I could tell that their attitude towards me was just completely like wrong, and they weren't going to understand where I was coming from. So I just left my job. Like, it was really hard, especially because I was kind of dependent on the finances I was getting from that job to support my diet, because it is really expensive. But it was just too stressful, and those of you that have eczema know that stress is also a flare up, like a reason basically to flare up. And I was like, I just don't need the stress. Like, I'd rather just not have the stress. So I left my job. Another question was, how are you sure it's eczema? That's a good question. I don't know. I just know what eczema looks like. I had eczema when I was a child. I had eczema when I was pregnant with my first child. And I've also had eczema kind of like on and off as a teenager. So it's not something that's kind of like new to me. Like, I've not always had eczema, but I've had eczema like on and off growing up as a child into teenage years and as an adult. So when it started to cover my whole entire body, it wasn't new to me. I knew exactly what it was. And eczema has very like specific behavior. So eczema is like, it's almost like a roughening of the skin. Sometimes it breaks, and it's flaky, and it's very, very itchy, and all, like, basically my skin ticked all the above. Someone asks, what is the most soothing cream you put on your skin that lasts long? So I've got a blog that you guys can go on, and I've wrote a blog about a cream that I use at the moment called Dream Cream. Now, Dream Cream is a cream that's been formulated by Lush Limited, and it's basically an oat milk based cream. And when I started using this cream, I saw like the effects or the benefits of it straight away. Now, it's not 100% natural, which is a bit of a touch and go subject for me, but like I said, I did cover it on the blog. But I haven't actually found any other cream that has worked for me as this Lush cream has. So when I started using it, I knew it was the oat milk base that really helped my cream to kind of like smooth out and clear up. But I do add extra oils to it to make it more moisturizing and just longer lasting. So in the cream, as I said, I covered it in the blog, but I add hemp oil to it, flaxseed oil to it, black seed oil to it, and also essential oils, which are vetiver, myrrh and patchouli, which are all like very, very good essential oils for skin healing and skin recovery. And that cream for me has been amazing. Now, I'm on a mission this year to kind of like recreate my own dream cream without the artificial ingredients that they use in it. So when I do that, I will definitely let you know. Someone asks, how often should I apply dream cream? So when I put up that blog, a lot of you guys said that you went and bought it, and a lot of you came back to me and said that you loved it, and you loved it even more after you added the recommended oils that you put into it, which is great. But some of you have come back and also said that you didn't find that it was very moisturizing. Your skin got dry not long after using it. So what I would say is, I really do think it depends on the stage that you're at in your healing journey. When I first started using Dream Cream, my skin was really, really bad. I was using it up to 3 to 4 times a day because my skin would dry out. That's when I started to add the extra oils to it, and it did help. But I do feel like if your skin is in the thick of your flare-ups and your eczema is really, really bad, you will have to moisturize more often because your skin is like open. Like, if you were to put like a magnifying glass over your skin, you would see that the skin layers are actually open, and that's why the moisture's susceptible to kind of like leaving the skin very quickly. So you do have to moisturize more. But as your skin begins to heal with diet, not cream, diet, you'll start to notice that the cream will basically last longer. So I've gone from when my skin was really bad to using the cream maybe 3 to 4 times a day, and now I only use it once. Literally, I get up in the morning, I shower, I've creamed my skin, and then that's me for the rest of the day. And you guys will see, like, when I put up, when I show you what my skin looks like now, literally I've creamed this morning and my skin's still moisturized. So I think it literally depends on what stage that your skin is at. So another thing I get asked about a lot is about hyperpigmentation, basically like how the skin if the skin basically goes back to its normal complexion after like the scars have healed, etc, etc. And basically my answer is yes. I haven't used any specific creams for hyperpigmentation. I haven't used like any special remedies for it. It's literally just cleared up on its own. So as I said, it has taken time, but through changing my diet, the eczema cleared, and then eventually the skin just went back to normal. So again, when it comes to hyperpigmentation, I know everybody wants a special cream and a miracle thing that will just get rid of it, but I honestly believe that everything always falls back down to your diet. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you shouldn't use a cream or you shouldn't use a specific herb or whatever to help, because I do feel like there is a place for it. Like one of the things I've kind of discovered upon this journey is that turmeric is a very, very good herb to apply to your skin for hyperpigmentation. But my theory, or what I know works, is that anything that is good enough to eat is also good enough to put on the skin, and turmeric is an amazing herb for people that suffer with eczema. So if you can find foods and ways to get turmeric into your body, they will do exactly the same things that it would do as if you put it on your skin. So you can kind of do like a double whammy thing. You could eat turmeric and you can also apply turmeric to your areas that have hyperpigmentation. But like I said, it's no use kind of putting things on your skin, because you need to heal literally from the inside out. So you need to be patient and just give it time. But there's no like quick fix to any of the things that we're talking about. Psoriasis, dermatitis, acne, hyperpigmentation, everything that has to do with the skin, any skin issues, they are literally just your body telling you that something inside of you is wrong. It's usually stemming from the gut, and what you need to do is you need to eat foods and cut out foods that are inflammatory so your body can heal itself from the inside out. So one of the questions asked of me as well was, what does my skin look like now? Which I will show you. So I'm basically going to get my husband to come in and kind of like do a kind of close-up video of what my skin looks like now, so you can see what it looks like.
Go on.
Don't watch my feet because I need a manicure, okay? But yeah, so you guys remember I put up like various videos showing you kind of like my legs and my feet. And my legs and my feet were always the worst, especially when I went through like the worst of the whole eczema flare up. So as you can see, my feet now are nowhere near as bad as they were before. It's like it's smoothened out, so if I feel my feet, it's smooth, it's got no rough bits, but there's like one or two tiny bits that are, I don't know, just randomly sticking out. They haven't caused me any problems, they're not really itchy, but I guess that's probably just going to take a little bit longer to heal, because obviously that was the worst. My legs, as you can see, that they're completely smooth. Like I showered and moisturized like a good, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours ago, and my legs are still not dry. They used to be black, like really, really black, and it's only just like now that my original skin colour is starting to come through, so it still looks a bit it still looks dark, but it's starting to become browner with time. And then as you go a bit further up my leg, you can see basically where my skin complexion's a bit clearer. So because my legs and my feet were the worst, they were actually black, and they're starting to get colour back. But my thighs are basically closer to my natural complexion now, and as you can see, there's absolutely no eczema at all on my legs or my thighs anymore, so that's gone. I also had eczema literally everywhere, including my arms, like all over my arms and my chest. You'll see the pictures there as well. So as you can see, the colour on my chest has gone back to normal as well. It's no longer black, and kind of this was like, I would say like this is probably the first place where my eczema cleared. I've kind of got this theory where I feel like it cleared in the areas that were closer to like my chest. So my chest cleared up first, and then my neck, and then my arms, my hands, whatever. And if you get closer, my hands, which were also really, really bad, have cleared as well. But if you guys, those of you that follow me on Instagram, I've been talking about this stubborn patch that won't go away, and it's basically here. And I think it's probably like you could say 3 patches. There's one here, one here, and one here. I can't remember if these 2 patches were always there, but basically this is like the stubborn hand, whereas this hand you can see is completely clear as well. There's absolutely no eczema on that one. So I mean, in terms of what it looked like before, the progress is real, but I've still got a bit of healing to go. So yeah, I just wanted to show you in real time, because everyone keeps asking me what does your skin look like now. So I just felt it was easier to literally just video it so you can actually see the difference rather than just taking pictures. So one of the questions that also keep coming up when people do message me is like what foods to cut out when dealing with eczema or trying to heal eczema. Now I feel like it can be very subjective, so some people will do very well eating a certain food and other people won't. Like, this isn't like a blanket thing, but I would say definitely the things to cut out, because these are generally very inflammatory foods, and eczema is an inflammatory condition. So I'm not saying that these are things that you have to cut out completely forever. I'll say that these are things that you need to cut out now whilst the skin's healing, and you can kind of make the decision whether you want to add those foods back in or not. So for example, the foods that I cut out were meat, dairy, eggs, gluten. I tried my very best to stay away from rapeseed oil, to stay away from soy, and if I did have soy, it would have to be organic soy. But generally I don't really eat soy, tofu, all of that stuff. Like, if I do have soy, it's kind of like because it's already in an ingredient that I used to cook with, but again, it has to be organic. Corn, I didn't eat corn. I don't eat corn anymore as well, again because these are very inflammatory foods. Eggs is another big one as well. And off the top of my head, those are the main ones that I can think of. So I would say that if you're trying to kind of like tame your eczema and get your eczema under control naturally, those are the things that you 100% need to cut out. And then as the skin begins to heal, you can start adding some of those foods back in, like up to you, at whatever rate that you want. So for example, like I said, I have changed my diet slightly since doing that vlog. I have had meat. I do eat meat at the moment, but not kind of like how I ate meat before. So for example, I think I mentioned in that vlog actually that I started eating salmon. So I have probably salmon once a week. Like, usually I have it for Sunday dinner. And every once in a while, and I mean like literally every once in a while, I might have a bit of lamb in a mince, or that's about it. I have had chicken I have had chicken once, and I wouldn't say I didn't like it. It didn't do anything to my skin. It didn't affect me in any way in terms of like my skin, but I just didn't feel like it. Like, for me personally, the way I've changed my diet and kind of like changed how I eat, I actually like eating this way. And I'm not saying I won't eat meat, because I do eat it occasionally, and that's only to get like the nutrients and the benefits that you would need to get from meat. You can't get anywhere else. But generally I do eat plant-based like 90% of the time. I won't be adding egg back into my diet. I won't be adding dairy back into my diet. And gluten is something I'm still a bit touch and go on. Like, I know for a fact that I won't eat wheat, because I feel like wheat is like the most inflammatory food on the planet. And I'll go into this in another video if you guys prefer, about why wheat is a very destructive food type to eat. But I have considered basically adding spelt back into my diet. Spelt's a grain that I used to eat before instead of wheat, and because I wanted to just go completely gluten-free in terms of like healing and stuff, I cut out gluten completely. And I'm kind of like in two minds about whether to add it back in or not, because there's so many kind of arguments for and against. Personally, I don't think gluten would really affect me, but again, I just want to stay at like optimum levels of health, and I guess I'll keep you guys updated with that anyway. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I am in the process of putting together a series for you guys to see how I cook my food. So one of the questions that keep coming up again, like I said, is what do I eat, how do I eat, etc, etc. One of the things that I struggled with when I started my plant-based diet was finding people to follow that I could cook, finding people to follow that could cook the way I wanted to eat, if that makes sense. I feel like a lot of the recipes that I found online, especially from people that were kind of like doing the whole healing eczema naturally thing, they just didn't eat like me. Like, I'm not even trying to be rude or insulting, but like, I cannot have a bowl of white rice with a bit of tofu and ketchup. To me, that's not food. Like, my food needs to have flavour. It needs to have some body to it and some real enjoyment to it. I feel like if you're going to do a plant-based diet and you don't enjoy what you're eating, it's always going to be counterproductive, because you're going to hate what you're eating so much that you're just going to go back to eating the junk you were eating before. It has to be as good as or better. And it took me a little while to kind of develop the recipes I'm going to show you. And they're amazing. Like, literally, I don't cook with any like pre-packaged foods. Well, you'll see anyway what I use. It has to be natural, number one, and wherever possible it is organic. I don't use pre-packaged seasonings, so there's no like MSG and added natural additives and colours to my food. I use literally pure herbs to cook with, and that took a long time to learn how to do that, how to season what foods with what exactly. So those are things that I'm going to be showing you guys how to do, and I really, really hope that you guys will support that video when it starts to come out. If you guys have any other questions whatsoever, definitely hit me up on my social media handles, which I put up above my head somewhere. You guys can also ask me any questions you want underneath this video, and as I've said so many times before, if you're watching this video and you're struggling with any sort of like health issue, whether it's skin related, gut related, any sort of health issue, there's no like quick fix, there's no like miracle cream, there's no like any special drug you can just take and your eczema will go away. It literally all falls down to your diet, and I know it's difficult, but literally you can do it. Like, if you've seen how bad my skin was before and you've seen how it is now, you know that it's possible and that you can actually do it. So I would say definitely like stop looking online for like quick fixes and just take it upon yourself. Take the responsibility upon yourself to heal yourself naturally from within, because literally food is medicine. Food is literally medicine. As long as you know what to eat, your body will heal itself. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.